Are you looking to migrate to Canada and you do not qualify for the popular route, the express entry, provincial nomination, RNIP, and all the other routes that exist? Well, the Global Talent Scheme might be your way out. Why not come with me on this video? Let's explore this route together. We'll be discussing what this route is all about, the eligibility requirements, all you need to do from your end and possibly from any other party that is involved, and to ensure that you get into Canada using the Global Talent Scheme route. As we are well aware that Canada is tightening their immigration policies and particularly clamping down on temporary residents in Canada. This doesn't mean that temporary residents are not welcome into Canada. This only means that you need to do a tad bit more than you would have done initially to get into Canada as a temporary resident or stay into Canada as a temporary resident. However, the Global Talent Scheme allows you, even as a temporary foreign worker, to come into Canada with the quickest processing time for your resident permits, which is 10 working days. Yes, 10 working days is the processing time for your resident permit on this route. This and more are what we are going to be discussing in this video. Join me, let's discuss Global Talent Scheme as a route to coming into Canada. Welcome and welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Moments with D. If you're seeing my face for the first time, we discuss immigration tips, my life as an immigrant in Canada and sometimes in the UK. You can want to click, after watching this video and watch my other videos on this channel. I'm sure they'll be very useful. Also, kindly consider subscribing to this channel. I'm sure you would enjoy it, and don't worry, I'm not going to waste your data or waste your time. And if you're a returning viewer or a returning subscriber, thank you for always coming back to my video. Like I said, this is a series. I've talked about other routes aside the express entry way of coming into Canada as a permanent resident or as a worker. This particular route looks to bring in immigrants as a worker into Canada, pending when you get into Canada and then start processing your permanent residency. So let's get into the details. What is the Global Talent Scheme all about? The Global Talent Stream is a part of the Temporary Foreign Worker Program, TFWP, provides you with expedite access to unique, specialized, and highly skilled temporary foreign workers. This stream is intended for innovative firms in Canada that have the need to hire unique and specialized temporary foreign workers in order to scale up and grow. It is also meant for firms in Canada that are seeking to hire highly skilled temporary foreign workers to fill positions in occupations on the Global Talent Occupation List. Now, this is the definition of what the Global Talent Scheme is about. So they are looking for highly skilled temporary foreign workers. Is just a way to attract the best and brightest into Canada. There is this Global Talent Occupation List that has a couple of occupations on it that are like in high demand in Canada, or innovative firms that are looking to bring specific skills, a specific skill set of people into Canada. The GTS is a distinct category of labor market impact assessments that enables Canadian businesses to rapidly recruit foreign workers that fits perfectly into scaling their business or helping their business to grow. So it's just targeted at companies that are quite innovative and they need specific set of people to come help them scale that business or drive the business growth. And there are a couple of requirements for this route. As we all know, that any routes that require the labor market impact assessment, it is one of the requirements is that those jobs should first be made available to permanent residents or Canadians before they are actually taken out to say they require temporary foreign workers. So as part of the requirement that the organization have to provide is the fact that they've advertised these roles and did not see Canadians or permanent residents that fits that have these requisite skills to do the job before they are offering these jobs out to other to others outside the country. But like I said, the labor market impact assessment route has been made easy for the GTS route in a way that it won't go through the bureaucratic process that the regular LMIAs go through, and which is why your work permit will get approved in 10 business days. This is stated on IRCC, as you can see on the screen. It is not made up by any YouTuber to just attract you to coming into Canada. And another thing that is very unique for the GTS route is that most of the requirements is actually on the employer, as against on the employee or the worker or you, the immigrant, that is looking to use this route to come into Canada. I will get to the details of the requirements, but I just want you to know that the employer is the one that has the chunk of the tasks to perform in this route, as against you as the employee or the immigrant that wants to use this route to migrate into Canada. Also, specific to the GTS is that upon meeting all the requirements that is requisite for this particular route, a positive LMIA will be issued, and it is this positive LMIA that you will use to apply for your work permit and come into Canada. And this work permit is going to be for 3 years, and after which you should be able to qualify for the Canadian Experience class and begin your PR processing. It is worthy of note to remember that the type of work permit that will be issued in this route is a closed work permit to the employee, although this route also allows you to come in with your family, that's your wife and your children. Your wife will get an open work permit, which means they can work with other employers. You get a closed work permit, which means you have to work specific to your own employer, the employer that you stated in your application or that filed for the application for you. Your spouse gets an open work permit, and your student gets a temporary residence permit or a study permit that allows them to be able to live in Canada. I would like to point out a few similarities between the GTS and the regular work permit route. One, both of them require a job. You need a job offer to be able to come in, whether as on the regular work permit or using the GTS route. You both get a closed work permit to work for the employer you're coming in to work with, and they both require LMIAs, labor market impact assessments document. They both require the LMIA. However, there are few differences as well between the GTS route and the regular skilled worker permit route, and one of them is the fact that for this the GTS, the LMIA processes has been drastically reduced. The bureaucracy and everything regarding the LMIA has been reduced, so you tend to get your LMIA faster if you are actually applying under the GTS route. Secondly, the work permit takes 10 days. I've said that before and I'm saying it again and again. Within 10 business days you get your work permit applying under the GTS route, so that's more like the quickest and the fastest I've seen for work permit. And thirdly is the fact that you do not need proof of fund using this route. You don't need to show a proof, and that's specifically due to the fact that you're coming in to work and evidences of the job and everything would have already been shown. So you don't need to show that you can cater for yourself, because of course you have an employer that is coming that will be paying you at the end of the day, and all this would have been stated in the document that will be dropped to get your LMIA and consequently get your work permit. And also you don't need proof of English language test, which is the IELTS or the French test or whatever language proficiency test you need to drop, you need to show when migrating to Canada. For this global talent scheme route, you do not need to actually show any of that. So no IELTS, no POF, LMI is shorter, processing time is quick, and you can migrate your family. How chilled is that? Employers using this route are required to work with the Employment and Social Development Canada, that's the ESDC, to develop a labor market benefit plan. And in this plan, the company is going to be stating how bringing you as a temporary foreign worker into Canada will help Canada's economy in the long run, and all the other benefits that they will also ensure that they give you and then consequently transfer to other residents of Canada using bringing you into the country. So they have a lot of all these details, like you can see on the screen, that the employer has to show as in their labor market benefit plan as part of their documents to get their LMIA approved. So this is just to ensure that you're not just going to come and be doing the job and they're just paying your salary. There will be trainings and benefits and all that even the company would have more like commit to in their request of bringing you down to the country before you come down here. So you are sure that coming down with this route, you're going to be getting your full pay and perks that have already been committed to. Unlike coming, into Canada by other routes and getting a job, you might have to like be managing, whatever job that you get. So this is one of the very unique benefits to you coming down here using the GTS route. Now let's move to the eligibility for this criteria. There are two major categories in under the Global Talent Scheme. There's a category A. For category A of the GTS, an innovative company must be referred by one of the stream's designated referral partner on the basis that the position being requested requires unique and specialized talent to help the firm scale up and grow. In order to be eligible for category A designated referral partner must validate that a company meets a couple of criteria, meaning that like they've been operating in Canada, they have focus on innovation, they have willingness and capacity to grow and scale up, they are seeking to fill a very unique and specialized position in the company, and they have identified a qualified temporary foreign worker for potential hire into that unique and specialized position. I'm sure looking at all these things, you will see the emphasis on the unique and specialized talent or unique and specialized position. So this is not just to say that they can hire anybody. Oftentimes the person has to have advanced studies, over 5 years experience in this route, and effort and evidences has to be attached to so that this worker that is actually coming in is very unique and talented. So rather than waiting in the express entry pool for tech draw or waiting for a provincial nomination in the pool, this is the opportunity to actually jump on the Global Talent Scheme route and get into Canada within 10 days, earning immediately you land. So for category A of the GTS, of course, employers must be referred by one of the designated partners showing on the screen. We have a lot of them. Some of them are even province based and all that bit. So you have lots of the partners, as you can see. So any of these partners will have to refer the company, and they will have to vouch for their legitimacy, and that referral document must be attached. Specifically, if an application is submitted to category A without a referral form, it will be considered incomplete and the application will not be processed. For category B of the GTS, application will be accepted from firms in Canada that need to hire highly skilled temporary foreign workers for occupation found on the ESDC's Global Talent Occupation List, which has been determined to be in demand and for which there is insufficient domestic labor supply. For this category, the company do not need a referral letter attached to their document, but you can definitely see the list of these are some of the occupations that are on the ESDC list, and I'm definitely going to be putting the link to all this in the description box, of course, so that you can read further by yourself and you can see some of the occupation that is in demand. So are you a data scientist? Are you a business analyst, business analytics? These are some of the NOC that is stated here. And if you look further to your right on this document, you will see prevailing wages that is stated there. Although I'll go to wages soon, but the specific thing that you should notice that no employer is allowed to pay you lesser than the prevailing wage rate in the country. So you can be certain that you cannot be paid anything lesser than the minimum wage. In fact, for the category A, the employer cannot pay you less than 80,000 Canadian dollars as your annual pay for the first two people that they hire under the GTS route, and for the third person or other people that they want to hire, aside the first two people that they hire in a calendar year, they have to pay way more than that. So you can be sure that it's not some job that you're going to be earning and managing yourself. Another thing I also want you to note under the wages is the fact that you as the employer, you are not to pay any cost or any amount at all aside your work permit application fee, which is 155 Canadian dollars. So you're not supposed to pay. There is a 1,000 Canadian dollar fee for the LMIA that is not on you to pay. And even on the IRCC website, they listed some other expenses that the company might incur from hiring you, and they are not to take any of this money back from you. In fact, if they do anything like that, it can result to getting a negative LMIA, and negative LMIA just means that you will not be able to get your work permit or use it to process your work permit. So it is on you to note that this route does not cost you other than your 155 Canadian dollars that you need to pay for the application and the processing fee. That's all. Now, another requirement, particularly on the end of you as the immigrant watching this video, is that this route is job based, like I mentioned before. So you would need to look for jobs that fit this category to which you can apply with. Now, there are lots of places that you can actually search for jobs. You know, we have LinkedIn, of course, we have Canadian Job Bank. You can go into that and look for jobs that actually fit into this category, either companies that fit into category A or jobs that fit into category B. You can check some of the job boards. There's Indeed, and there is Monster, there's Glassdoor. Just go and search for the jobs that actually fit into this route, and you can actually even mention some of these to the employers, because some employers actually just know about the regular labor market impact assessment route, that's the regular skilled worker route. They do not know that maybe their jobs might fit into the the GTS, the Global Talent Scheme route. So if you get this job, it's something that you might even have to like point you might point your employer in the right direction, and it's just them providing almost very similar documents to what they will provide for regular LMIA, but they are just very certain that they will get this processed faster because it is the Global Talent Scheme route, and you will also get your own work permit faster than the regular LMIA route. Now, I want to also just address some of the benefits to you for using this route. Like I said, one, there is very fast processing time. So if you get your job like today, you can almost tell your employer that I'm going to be in Canada in the next 10 working days, and that would most likely be the case if there are no complications, of course. The second thing is that you don't require either POF or proof of funds or English language proficiency for this route, which is one of the fears that most immigrants have. How long do I have to like write IELTS before I get the required score? Or what if I don't have enough proof of funds in my account to show for the duration of period that is required? But all this has been eliminated for this route, so you don't have to prove anything or drop any documents. So you as the employee, all you need is just your offer letter, and then get your positive LMI document from your employer, and then pay your 155 application fee, and you're on your way down to Canada. Another benefit of this route is that you can actually come into Canada with your family, so you don't have to like leave your family back home, or have to like show any ties back home where you then leave your family and then you come back later or something. So with this route, you can come in with your family. Then another thing with this route as well is it also gives you an edge to be able to qualify for your permanent residency in the long run, because this route gives you 3 years work permit. It means that within your stay in Canada on this route, you can actually qualify for the Canadian Experience class and then get drawn to process your permanent residency. And if you're lucky to even be working in a province that actually have these fast provincial nomination programs, then you can even get your permanent residency faster than the 3 years you have on your work permit. This is yet another route that lots of people do not know about or are yet to explore as one of the ways of coming into Canada quickly and faster in 2024. Now, don't sleep on this route. You might know someone that knows someone that actually qualify for this route, and you might want to look closely at some of the job functions you have done even in years prior to now that can qualify under this route. Like I said, Canada has like multiple routes to coming into Canada legally as an immigrant, and I will be sure to bring you yet another route in my next video. This is all I have for you for the Global Talent Scheme route, so migrating into Canada. You want to like this video and share it with someone that would value or needs this video to come to Canada. Thank you for sticking with me till the end of this video. Thank you for watching this video to this point. Until I come your way next time, stay blessed. Bye.